What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Littleroot Lessons, episode 225. I was doing so well on the first one that, for posterity's sake, Jay just needs to ruin it for me.
I thought it was great.
That's what we're here for. It was too straightforward the past 2 weeks, right? Everything went too well.
Yeah, 2 weeks where my co-host didn't go and ruin the intro. But
I should have informed them beforehand.
Keon, Jacob, and I, we all share one brain cell. I had it; they couldn't do it.
You act like we also collectively don't have one brain cell.
Oh no, we don't have a brain cell. I don't think the three of us, it's just a single cell. Like, the fact that this podcast functions is, one of the mysteries of the world. And I did miss you guys. I did miss getting my intro ruined by you, Carter, and you, Jay.
I didn't even do anything.
Oh no, you just always do it. In general,
I didn't do anything. I sat here.
Not this time, just every other time.
I'm thinking about getting mad.
Yeah, dang, Carter, stop existing. All right, you're not allowed to exist around these parts.
How are your vacations, guys?
Oh, I wish it was a vacation.
No, yeah, your time off. It was.
Life has been kicking me while I'm down, man. But we're doing it. Things have been better, so
that's good. And Jay, you were actually on vacation.
I was. I started off with a non-vacation on my vacation because I had to take the train operator's test on the very first day of my time off of work. And then
have you gotten your results back, or is that going to be like months down the road?
I will know unofficially on Thursday how well I did. So, yeah, I'm nervous about it, but I think I did really well. And then vacation was nice. I had a good time. I played golf. I finished Lord of the Rings. It was a good couple weeks for sure.
I don't know what either of those are like anymore.
Golfing or reading?
What's reading? I can't do that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that one we knew about.
I couldn't actually tell you the last time I went golfing. It's probably been a month.
Oh, that's
month
not
and a half.
good.
Yeah, I've managed to get in a couple games before vacation, which was nice. It just so happened to work out. But before then, I really wasn't playing too much, so I was nervous going in. I had a really, really rough first game. I hit like 116 or something, but then I bounced back with the second, and I got a 97. So I broke 100.
Dude, 97's nice.
Yeah, I was class that day. Everything was working for me. I was like nearly driving the green on a lot of the holes. So
that is my biggest problem. Is I leave it short every time. Like my chip onto the green, I leave short every time to the point where it's just like, all right, well now we have to chip, and I am atrocious at chipping. So it's just like, all right, and we're going to the other side of the green now, and then we're going back up. I'm just like, screw it, give me my putter. I'll just hit it in.
Yeah, chipping is like the one thing that I work on more than anything because I have like a little chipping mat in my backyard and a bunch of foam golf balls, so I get to work on that a lot. So I'm pretty confident around the green. Like my mid irons have been really wonky. But, like, as long as my driver's cooking, then I can really get into some good spots. So, I had a good time. It was nice. It was a nice week.
My buddy that I play with, I think it's, like, his boss he was talking to who made this suggestion. He's like, honestly, don't play with your driver. He's like, it is the least versatile club in your entire bag. Play without it for a round and just see how much better it feels.
Your buddy's boss deserves a Weenie Hut Jr.'s induction at this point. That is not the way we play golf around these parts, all right? You take out the big dog every opportunity that's available to you.
Trust me, I also do that.
And you absolutely smack
lose
it.
You lose the ball into the trees. Yeah.
No, the thing is, you don't. When you don't do that, you don't know how much your golf game changes. Because I learned that I have this nice little slice, all right, and I just play it right out to the fairway by like aiming myself an extra like 30 degrees to the right. That way, when I slice the ball, it'll end up where I want it to be.
Is any of this like actually going to be like usable?
Oh no, all on the pod. No, all
What
of this is usable.
did we not say that we're a golf podcast now? I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure we made that like known. Like,
Did
how long
you
have
guys
you been
not
on
get that
now?
memo?
I mean, like I'm more like golf Lafleur, but I don't know what we're talking about with the game.
Yeah, did you guys not get that memo? It's Golf Lafleur Sundays and also Championship Golf Sundays. We're combining them into one, and we're having a great time.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
this
go.
is this is clearly a sports podcast. It's been that way for like an entire NFL season.
Yeah, about. I mean, like at the start of us being on the show was literally okay. What mood is Angelo going to be in? Because of the Eagles, and for half of it was great, and the other half was I'm going to die. But speaking of seasons, see, I'm really good at the transition. Speaking of seasons,
We're
we
rolling
already
here.
have some.
C-.
You're a C minus. We already have some news on the circuit updates for the upcoming 2024-2025 VGC season, and this is just the first of what we assume will be a massive wave of information coming out this week. The main thing is, just like TCG, our season is starting on July 1st this year. So we are not having that summer drought before Worlds and us waiting for the first week of September to get events. We are able to have local events with points that count towards the upcoming season, the 2025 Worlds is going on. With that being said, that's the only good news, really. The other major change is that the location of where these local events can now be held is a lot more limited than they used to be. All local events now need to be held not only just at a card shop, but a Pokemon League affiliated card shop. So I know you guys, actually, Carter, you might know because you're around your LGS a lot with Pokemon Leagues. On the TCG side, a lot of stores will have a weekly sanctioned Pokemon League. It's pretty much like you go there, it's to play cards. It's like having like a weekly friendly for VGC. And these league stores are also where Pokemon TCG players and Pokemon Go players go for what they call league challenges and league cups. So now those stores will be adding VGC to their
maybe.
Well,
that's
the thing.
The big thing.
That's the thing. So the
just
first
because
thing...
a store is a Play Pokemon store doesn't mean that they are required to host VGC events.
Yep, and that is the first bad thing. A lot of TOs, so I'll use a great example. In the New York area, Brookland has been one of the biggest event spots. They've done a lot of amazing events there. That is no longer a spot to hold any events. You cannot hold events at Brookland. And if there are any card shops around Brookland, that are a Pokemon League store, you need that store. They have to pretty much go and say, yes, we will also host the VGC tournaments. Tournaments are also store-based now. They are not based on TO-based. So on the plus side, you technically could have a TO affiliated with multiple stores host multiple tournaments. But on the other side, like the ideas of your double headers that we would host. I know in New England, we would have both Gabby and Chalky hosting double headers during their big events, whether it would be like an MSS into a PC or a PC doubleheader. That isn't happening anymore because it's all based on the store. The only way that would happen is if everyone goes and does their early event and then gets up and leaves to another store that had their event later. Speaking of PCs and MSSs, those are gone. It's now just league challenges and league cups.
Which, from my understanding, is basically what those events were anyway, just rebranded.
So cups and MSSs are pretty much the same. The point totals the same. League challenges and premier challenges, there are differences. The first change or potential change, this isn't confirmed, but if we do match the points for challenges, a premier challenge was 30 points for the winner. and for the league challenges, it's only 15. So that's one change. The second change that it sounds like is that the league challenges as well are just a straight up Swiss event, no top cut. So that's going to be, again, not 100% on that one, but that could be another change that's going to be made, where you're going to be playing Swiss for the 15 points or 30 points, depending on what they go with, instead of doing Swiss into a top cut. So those are the changes we know. I think my best advice for anyone, first of all, for all players, be nice to your TOs. They're going through hell right now.
More importantly, be nice to your TOs, because if you're not, they will stop running events.
That too.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
If you're not nice to them, they don't care.
Yep. And even for the TOs, like there's a lot of TOs. I'm speaking for my local area. There's a lot of TOs that put a lot of work in and building specific stores and specific communities that pretty much just lost everything. And that is the thing where the process of getting a store set up to where not only if a store is going from nothing, like a non-league store, to a league store that could hold sanctioned events, it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 months for them to be able to hold sanctioned events. And then on top of that, it will take even longer past that for them to hold like the MSS equivalent of the league cups. So that is the first thing. Some areas they might just lose locals completely because they might not have a card shop or a league store willing to do VGC. So
I'm very fortunate. I can say that for me, this means that I'm actually more likely to have more locals, mainly because it's just a matter of like fitting it into my LGS's schedule, and with them being able to host these events whenever, it's not dependent on per se like me showing up to run the event or whatever. Granted, I'm not a TO. I don't have that expertise or anything, but that was something that I had looked into doing previously to be able to run them locally. And now that it's not on me to do so, it's more likely to happen, I think. So, instead of having to drive an hour and a half to go play a local, it's going to be drive across town.
Yeah, and that could be good. I know one thing that that is coming out of this. At the end of July, we were getting our first Rhode Island friendly, the first VGC event held in Rhode Island in God knows how long, and it's been something that I've really wanted. And a lot of it was just finding a place to do it. A lot of the TOs in my area are based in the Boston area, so them coming down to Rhode Island really wasn't as feasible. Now we found like a store that can do it. On the other side of it, the TO at the store did tell us, hey, the store owner's letting us run this event. If we don't hit our cap, this isn't happening. And that's like the other side of it where we have a shop, but if people aren't showing up, then they aren't going to
then what's the point of running them? I understand that aspect too.
Which, luckily enough, I know like my Rhode Island players, the ones who listen to this, you've already been told this, I'm going to say it again. I will literally drive to your house and drag you out kicking and screaming to this event. My Rhode Islanders will be there. But like, it's not something I worry about, but at the other end of it, it is something where, if it's like just a bad weekend, or let's just say that they decide to hold a VGC event during like a regional, and they do that because like, oh, the TCG people won't be here, so I can fit in VGC. Well, your VGC players are at the same exact regional, and that you could like lose it that way, where they're like, oh, I'm giving you the time and you're not making my time. But yeah, we're probably going to hear more. There's rumors that we aren't going to really dive into about how Worlds is going to work, how regionals are going to work. Heck, there's been kind of slightly confirmed regionals locations, but again, nothing's confirmed. I assume we're going to get that information at some point this week, and we'll be going over how to get to Worlds and what regionals you have to go to next year. For the next episode. So yeah, that was the business end of it. And again, just be nice to your TOs, support them because they really need it right now.
Yep, yep, yep.
Now let's talk about some crappy mons that actually might be really fucking good right now. Jay, what do you got? Actually, first, let me share the showdown first.
Did you know Embor gets scald?
Yeah. Wait,
I had it on my UDL team and I didn't even know that.
Wait, you guys didn't know that? Yeah.
No. Why?
It's had its-
Why would I know?
It's had it since
Embor,
it's
the
had it since Gen
physical
5.
Pokemon, the physical fire type, has access to Scald, a special water move.
Yeah, it's had it since Gen 5.
That is not accurate.
Good for Emvor.
Word
That
warning.
Pokemon, a little underrated. Just like some of these other fire types that are going around in Reg G at the moment. We're gonna kind of cover some of like potential sleeper picks for upcoming locals, maybe sleeper picks for worlds, things like that. Going into the Reg G season that it is going to start again in July, like Angela was saying. So, two Pokemon that do similar things, have same typing, same ability, Chandelure and Cerulege. I think that these Pokemon are both very interesting in the format right now. We've seen Chandelure like really pop off. It won Taiwan Nationals, a top 10 LA, with Michael Zhang's team. And it has like this very unique matchup spread into a lot of top restricteds that make it really tough to deal with. And having a third immunity with Flash Fire is really really good. You get to do like the Terra Grass stuff with both of these Pokemon. Um, I think Chandelure is probably a little bit better than Cerulege right now, just because you really need like Clear Amulet on this. Um, but like they have very positive matchups into Zamazenta. They have positive matchups into Koraidon. They have you need to Terra Stellar your Terapagos to hit this with any type of damage with your Terra Starstorms. I think that they are like very powerful as well and work well in a bunch of different teams and really like sure up matchups against the Calorexes and such as well. So these are two like very cool Pokemon to me.
Yeah, so on the screen right here, we have both Pokemon up. Jay, what item are you usually seeing on the Chandelure? I know you said Claymore.
Life Orb most of the time.
So Life Orb, okay.
Yep.
So with both these Pokemon, again, they're the physical special side of this coin. Again, usually the same Terra type, the same ability, and the idea. These are Pokemon where if you had a really really rough matchup into again your fighting type restricteds, your like both dogs. Honestly, with their typing of being able to be like hit both ghosts and fire type damage, they're honestly really great into Kali Eye as well. Like really, all the physical restricteds these Pokemon do super well into. I'd say the differences are where you'd see them. We'd see Chandelure acting. Well, the one thing that Chandelure can do is it can also act as a speed control option with Trick Room in order to add that extra mode. I'd say the best place I've seen Chandelure is on the Michael Zhang teams, where it's taking the Zamazenta team and you're putting the Chandelure there and saying, when I'm playing the mirror, my mirror match is I'm going to be better into the mirror and also better into like other Pokemon that like fight like of these fighting and physical restricted, because I have this Chandelure and I can get myself into an end game where you can't really do anything into the Chandelure. You have to click Heavy Slam, and I'm able to go after you with Heat Waves. A lot of Zamazentas are Terra Grass, and with that, they can't escape that fire weakness. Another thing Chandelure can do for these Zamazenta teams is Zamazenta doesn't really like going up against a Moongus, and so again, having a fire type here that can just immediately delete a Moongus, massive base 145 special attack set with the Life Orb, you're able to like Chandelure is able to clear out a lot of these super annoying grass types as well, to let your Pokemon sweep. I'd say Cerulege is a little different. Where have you really seen Cerulege? Like I've seen it on
I
Terrapagos teams
believe,
mostly.
yeah, I think it might have been Aurelian Sula who used it in Stockholm.
I played
Um,
it on Inkay games this past week. Does that count?
yes, that does count.
Sure.
It was the only fire type legal in the format.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking on Lab Mouse right now. Its teammates most of the time is looks like Lunala is
Okay.
a big Pokemon that it's used with. For whatever reason, it says Frostmoth is on 100% of the teams with it. I don't know what people are cooking with, but
So there was a Frostmoth Miraidon team that was popping up because like Frostmoth, weirdly enough, really helps like Miraidon, because like you have the ice typing to hit these ground types. It's another wide guard mon. It's just like some super weird synergy. That especially once you throw in the electric seed, like Frostmoth is actually real kind of like weirdly bulky with Miraidon. I didn't see that team with Cerulege as well though.
yeah, it doesn't.
So
I'm struggling to find any like Miraidon usage with Cerulege, but
I'm on Pikalytics, and the number one teammate for Cerulege there is Zamazenta.
Okay, so again, the same exact idea with the Chandelure, where it's helping against like these annoying grass types for Zamazenta and in the mirror and stuff. While Chandelure acts as a speed control option, Cerulege is your setup mon on these teams. With a bulk up or two, you can really hit some nice numbers. You can go like I'd say after one or two bulk ups, your Bitter Blade is probably OHKOing Clefairy. Your Shadow Sneak's definitely OHKOing the pre-Terra Calyrex Shadows. And honestly, like if you get to +2, I think your Bitter Blade might be able to just completely take out an insanely bulky Pokemon like Calyrex Ice Rider, which would be pretty crazy. Even though it's a super effective hit, Calyrex Shadow, like Ice Rider does have an enormous HP and a very, very, very high defense stat as well. So to be able to set up and threaten that's very impressive. Another fire type that has been on this same span of I need a mon that patches the physical restricted matchups is Volcarona. So there's been two Volcarona sets we've seen. The first being both of them usually run either safety goggles or lefties. The first one's a more offensive set that you'll see with lefties, usually defensive type Terra like Water or Fairy, and it's just simple Protect, Quiver, Bug Buzz, and then like Heat Wave or Flamethrower. This is a Pokemon I know that Justin Knox used this exact like setup on his Miraidon team that he used to make day 2 of NAIC with. This is a Pokemon that, especially after a Quiver Dance or two, can sweep into teams. It's not only amazing into Pokemon such as Zamazenta, Zacian, and Calyrex Ice. It's also really good into Terrapagos because you're able to get these special defense boosts and then out damage it with your Bug Buzz or Heat Wave into the Terrapagos. The other way you can use Volcarona is a more, again, same defensive Terra. It's in a more supportive way. We're using moves like Struggle Bug, Will-O-Wisp, Scroogelbooge, Will-O-Wisp, and Rage Powder, and then throwing on something like Overheat as your one-turn nuke option to just get a bunch of bulk damage into a Fire Weak. This Volcarona, your goal here with the Flame Body and the Will-O-Wisp is to burn all of the physical attackers and then spam struggle bugs to just get as much damage mitigation on the field as possible, while using Rage Powder to keep the Pokemon that's next to it safe. A common partner for this version of Volcarona would be something like the Setup Terapagos, or even the Choice Specs variant that likes having the redirection next to it.
Yeah, I like Volcarona in this format. I wasn't a huge believer in it originally, but I've seen it pop up quite a bit lately. Um, it's definitely running around in a bunch of places, and I think that it has a very interesting matchup. I think I like the offensive variants a little bit more. Um, like Struggle Bug is just one of those weird moves to me that always seems really good in practice, but is never actually all that good in uh, when you're actually playing. And yeah, I think the goggles on it is a really nice adaptation that allows you to not be Terra Grass anymore, and instead, stay on the field for longer and um, get around the Amoonguss spores as well.
Yeah. I mean, so the one I've used the most is more the supporty version. I think a cool thing with Struggle Bug is that it's a snarl that can't miss, so that's cool. Because since it's a bug type attack, they have to give it some sort of buff, or else you'd never really use it. But really, the ability to be able to just Will-O-Wisp in front and just completely um, take away a Pokemon like, of course, the Zamazenta, the
Mm-hmm.
Zacian, the Kali-Ai. Your Will-O-Wisp pressure with the Volcarona threatens Koraidon to Terra, where if you're using the Volcarona next to the Terapagos, being able to force that Terra makes your Terapagos that much better, because now your Terrasilize Terra Starstorm is a super effective attack into the Koraidon.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on the team. If you're running a team that already has setup modes on it, again using the example of if you're running a setup Terapagos, you don't want another setup Pokemon. You want to just have that support to get your setup Pokemon. But on the other end, if you're restricted and your main damage dealers are already able to just go in without having to set anything up, then this version right here, being your other setup mode to just break through teams after a couple quiver dances, is definitely a viable option. Um, I'd say if whatever team you're running is weak to, if you're having a lot of trouble into these fighting type restricteds, um, pick one of these three Pokemon with one of these four sets, and that is a great way for you to get that patch onto your team to take what could be a 30-70, 40-60 matchup into that 50-50. So I know, Carter, you said that you had some inspiration from our good friend Bruno. Want to dive into one of those?
So staying with these fire types, I love Skeledirge. No other context. I love Skeledirge. Bruno put out a tweet about the time that we started talking about what we were going to do tonight, and one that we came up with was this idea of talking about about Pokemon that we think are underrepresented and could do well moving forward. About that time, I saw a tweet from Bruno saying, "I think these four Pokemon are going to have a good Worlds tournament." And let me just pull up the tweet and see what all he had on there.
While Carter's pulling it up, I would like to say that Skeledirge kind of does the same thing as the others. You have Will-O-Wisp, you have Slack Off to heal. Torch Song lets you not only put out damage but boost yourself, and then like you can even throw on a move like Yawn for another status. If you want to yawn into a nasty plot boosted Calyrex Shadow to just force that switch, or you can even just run the Shadow Ball to threaten that Pokemon. Um, It's funny that the first 4 Pokemon that we all think of are fire types that do well into the fighting types, and fire types that aren't Incineroar.
Yeah, one of us is gonna have to
Unfortunately,
change.
unfortunately, you know, 3 of them are ghosts, so they're weak to like Incineroar's knockoff.
Yeah, you know,
But like
it's
so like
semantics.
you're not dealing with the problem that is Incineroar. Like you like all 3 of them, like really all 4 of these Pokemon kind of get hard walled by Incineroar, right? Like you
Yeah,
just kind of sit in front of it and go, "Yep, okay."
that's
So-
why you run them on like these. A lot of these Pokemon are being ran on like Zamazenta teams for the
Yeah,
most part,
where you have consistent answers to
yeah,
Incin.
an auto delete button for Incineroar.
And like that's where I think these fire types are actually really handy. Is like they're able to really pressure Rillaboom as well, which is like another really common partner for Incineroar, right? So like being able to just have this nuclear option of blow them up seems like a really good way of dealing with them.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Skeledirge. I know that like Moxie Boosted has played it to moderate success. I think he's gotten a
He's
non-zero
gotten-
amount of CP with it.
I
So-
think it was on. I could be slightly off on this. I think it was either on the team he got his invite with, or on the team that he played, on the team that he used in the regional right before he got his invite. Like he was using it in like Reg F, Reg G.
So something else that like Skeledirge has access to, it has access to Snarl, which I think is like very important in this format where you have all these opposing Calyrexes running around that really don't want to sit in front of you and like get snarled to death.
That's why you run Covert Cloak.
You also have access to Earth Power, which helps you deal with Incineroars. So like, I didn't know it had access to Earth Power.
Yeah, wait. Let's do a little look see. So you have Earth Power. Of course, you have the Heat Wave. Helping Hand's always a great option. Scorching Sands is another interesting option.
Oh, that's
just to go with the
interesting too.
burn.
But like, I mean, for the most part, like Earth Power is just more consistent damage, so I think that's probably always the play.
Down here, it does get Imprison. It does get Sing if you want to, use if your name's Carter Noble.
Sign me up, baby. I don't know if you've watched the Genlock video, but the number of times I'm just like, I'm gonna click Hypnosis and hope this works.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no,
It is your favorite thing to do.
I
click the shittiest sleep moves in the game.
Look, I'm not gonna use fucking Parasect to click Spore in Gen 2. Thanks, no thanks. Ignore the fact that I'm pretty sure I did that for like the Kanto gyms.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, and then of course you get Sing at Yawn. Like this Pokemon's kit is relatively.
It has a lot going for it,
and that's not even mentioning Unaware, which just allows it to, if you know your calcs well enough, you can just survive any Calyrex hit, any setup sweepers hits. It's very good into like the off Lugia that you're gonna play, because that always happens
when you just roll up against Chance Hines.
Yeah.
You also have like you can remove your ghost weakness by like Terra Water or Terra Fairy or Terra Grass, and then like you get to be a nuclear option in front of Amoonguss too. Like
it's another mon that could hold Goggles, could hold Citrus.
100%.
I think fire types with Goggles are just chef's kiss in this format.
You could also, if you really want to be cheeky, you could be Throat Spray and go to +2 off of a Torch Song.
You can.
Yep.
Honestly, actually thinking of this more, all of this just did this just explains to me why Incineroar loves being Terra Ghost so much out of all the Terra options it has. Because all we've done is mostly talk about these Fire Ghost types.
Fake out immunes with good fighting type matchups. Who would have thought that's good?
Oh my god! It is.
That's the best part about like specifically Skeledirge. Like we were talking about Unaware. Like you can just like Oh no, there's a +2 Calyrex on the other side. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Terra whatever.
It's literally
on
the
this.
"nah, I'd win" meme.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna be weak to Astral Barrage right now. Click my Terra button and just eat up whatever. They're a +6. Whatever.
Who cares? I don't care.
Oh, all my teammates are gone, and I'm here all alone because I don't care that they're +6, but my teammates certainly do.
And that is
just having fun.
Yeah, that is one of the other things. Like a lot of the Calyrex right now, they are not running any offensive investment. It's all speed, all bulk. A lot more bulk than speed on these Calyrex. When I played in Dad's tour, my Calyrex Shadow was 4 special attack timid. Was really leaning on those nasty plot boosts, and yeah, missed a handful of KOs.
That's what you get for not taking out your driver on every single hole.
Exactly.
Look, if you're gonna play with the big boys,
you go 252, 252, and you click the Astral Barrage button over and over and over again.
I did change it to.
Sure, it doesn't work all the time.
36 modest.
Incorrect.
It's better than 4, just a flat 4.
Angelo, have you considered, and hear me out on this, hyper offense?
No, well, actually, that's a lie. I did. It's called, I played Miraidon for a month. Honestly, like, Miraidon broke my brain a little because I was, like, in the process of, especially Miraidon and Fire Pawn, because, like, after you Terra either of those Pokemon...
Funny.
Oh, after you Terra either of those Pokemon, like, damage calcs don't exist. I was in the Premier Challenge. I used that team and I went and I was playing Jacob in like round 5 of Swiss, and it was we both had Whimsicott leads, and I led Fire Pawn, they led Chi-Yu, and I'm pretty sure Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel just I could chunk the Chi-Yu, probably. I think I can. I'm like, I can roll and get the kill, and it just one-shot it, and we just both looked up at each other. I'm like, well, no need to do calcs. No need to do defensive calcs when you have a good idea that everything's going to die.
It is stupid. I mean, I know we're not there on the channel yet, but I picked it up in UDL for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and it has just been a menace. I mean, there's been games now where I don't click Trick Room a single time because
which is crazy because
my team is Hat Didi, like
Hat Didi Blood Moon,
Araquanid. Like, all I want to do is be in Trick Room, but I have Ogre Pond, who can just click Ivy Cudgel into whatever walks this earth, and it's gonna just disappear. It's gonna cease to exist.
Yeah, 252 Adamant, Ivy Cudgel. So much.
The latest UDL video that came out was where you played Mateo.
Yeah, and I got so bailed out in that episode.
His Charizard's name is Calc This. It's just like Helping Hand, Life Orb, Solar Power, Heat Waves. I'm just like, yep, that kills everything.
My face when the Terrifier Hatterene just disappeared was like, all right. As soon
as I saw that, I'm like, oh, Jace is gonna lose here.
I'm just gonna lose here, and then by the grace of all that's holy,
also known as Embor,
I got so bailed out by him switching out the Charizard, switching out the Zard, expecting Protect on Ursaluna, and I did not have Protect on Ursaluna, and that was awesome. I was carrying Roar that week, so it was like, because I was ready for Imprisoned Trick Room. I was just ready for it. And it was one of my techs that I've been planning. I've had it on like 3 or 4 different Ursaluna sets. Shoutouts to Tapo Wapo because he's always running Ursaluna Hisuian with Roar because he plays Hard Trick Room exclusively. And I see the clips. He has a whole list of people with imprisoned Trick Room so that he can click roar on them when he faces them on the ladder.
That's
It's
so
awesome.
funny.
But yeah, it didn't come into play. But not having protect was very important. And yeah, go watch that video if you haven't.
It was a really good video. This season of UDL has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It has been a good season so far.
Okay, so who has a Pokemon that's not a fire type they want to talk about?
Oh, is
you
this
do.
not the week where we just talk about fire types?
I mean, I do have a non-fire type to talk about, but I did not plan. Yeah, this is, it's been hot as hell up here. Jay, I'm assuming it's been.
Dog, I don't want to hear it.
What is it for you? It was like,
we are having a heat wave currently, so it is actually excruciatingly bad. It's been
today's high was 91. Tomorrow is 98.
Oh, that's not. I have 88 in like the past few days. It's not that.
It was like 90.
Oh, did I mention this is with 85% humidity?
That sucks.
Yeah, it was like 94 here today. It was real bad, and I know Alex. She had weather. I think 102 degrees. She was, and it felt even worse. Like she was in the dead center of this really bad heat wave that was cooking up across New York the past few days. So
yeah, so I'm not going to do the and I was about to say the glass animals thing, and I have just too much self-respect. But yes, it's been hot, and that's probably why fire types are on our mind right now.
Do we want to talk about Magmar? I mean,
yeah, screw it.
Wait,
sure.
can we actually talk about Magmar's spiritual cousin Electabuzz?
Yeah,
because
the one that actually made top 6.
They're like related. They're like linked. They both got the Magmarizer, Electrizer evolutions in Gen 4.
They are actually like opposites of each other. Back
exactly.
In Gen 1. So Jay, back before you were born, we had version exclusives.
Oh yeah, because we don't have those anymore. It's not like
they're so easily accessible. You had to know that your buddy on the playground had the opposite copy of the game and was far enough along to be able to catch one for you.
Yeah, but do you really want to pay $60 because you got Violet and you have to play through the entire game and then also buy the DLC in order to get and then catch all 200 Pokemon that are in the DLC to get Raging Bolt for crying
I'm sorry,
out loud?
What? You have to do what?
You have to have a completed Pokedex to catch the
not
the
a completed
Pokedex
for Bolt. It's only 200 Pokemon, but the dex is like
200. Only 200.
Only.
Yeah.
Well,
and also before that, you have to you even unlock that. You have to go and do the entire Blood Moon Ursaluna thing. So you have to get 150 Pokemon in Kitakame. Then do 200 Pokemon. Well, catch the Blood Moon. Then do 200 Pokemon in the Blue Academy. Yeah, it's not great.
So I fired up my version of Scarlet this week for the first time in forever, and I am sitting outside of the rec center place that you go on the first DLC. And I've just been sitting there for months at this point. I have not completed the festival. I've barely been to half of the island.
It's a fun little DLC.
I don't know, man. Anymore, it just seems like these Pokemon stories are not for me.
Oh no, the stories are not. You're just playing through them. I understand. There's a bit of childhood whimsy that's still hasn't died for me yet. And once that happens, then yeah, it's going to be bad. Yeah,
so Electabuzz.
Yeah, let's talk about Electabuzz.
That's a Pokemon of all time.
So I wanted to bring this up because obviously it did very, very well this recently at NAIC. It made a couple appearances, one at 12th with Alex Underhill, one at 60th with Adi. But actually, a friend of the show, UDL and RTT Mod, AJ Testerman, also known as Foiled Feline on Discord, actually was the kind of proponent of the Electabuzz idea on these teams. They came up with this idea, and it managed to do really, really well at NAIC. Everyone came out with a positive record who used it, and I think it's really cool. We've seen Magmar do pretty well this season, and Electabuzz is kind of like a very cool option on these Trick Room teams. It gets Vital Spirit, so you can't be put to sleep, which makes it a good a good Pokemon for Amoonguss matchups, which is really really big, really strong into a lot of these Trick Room cores. And then you pair it with Calyrex Ice, who obviously when it gets rolling can do massive damage. You can use Feint to break Protects and Wide Guard on the Electabuzz in order to allow your Calyrex Ice to just sweep the matchup. Basically,
doesn't get Wide Guard.
No, he's saying Feint breaks
Feint
Wide Guard.
breaks
Oh,
Wide Guard.
Feint breaks Wide Guard. Okay.
Yeah, you can use it into Wide Guard matchups to allow your Calyrex Ice to do well. The other moves that it's running is Taunt and Volt Switch.
I just got Alex's team up here, so
Yep. It allows you to reposition it, get in something else on the field, like your Calyrex Ice. You can lead Electabuzz with Farigiraf, feign a Follow Me Trick Room, and actually just Volt Switch off of something. Bring in that Calyrex Ice and be ready to start sweeping turn 1, or that Ursulina Blood Moon. You pair it also with Smeargle on the team, and it creates like this weird little 1-2 punch of Follow Me users that can be really difficult to deal with because they each bring such a unique kind of kit with them and what they can do. And I think that Electabuzz is really cool. So shout out to Foiled Felock for the idea, and shout out to Alex and Adi and everyone who brought it. I think it's a really unique concept to bring to such a big tournament and also do very well.
Yeah,
So
I think that Carter.
I have Electabuzz pulled up on Pikalytics. Can someone explain to me why 22% of Electabuzzes are paired with Bruxish? Specifically, Iron Ball Bruxish?
Because Pikalytics is silly.
Yeah, I'm looking at Munch Stats, which it pulls usually from the same area as Pikalytics. Sometimes they usually update a little faster, and you also have Malamar and Annihilate with the same exact usage. So my guess is it was probably just like some random showdown team that was popping up that like something that it had to have been something like that.
It's also very low usage overall, so just 1 or 2 players who are playing a Bruxish on their team can probably end up skewing the
probably
usage
not
stats
wrong.
quite a bit.
Yeah, because
but
if you go
on
down,
sorry,
you
Angelo,
go.
you go. Okay,
No.
I was gonna say on Lab Mouse, which obviously is tracking our tournament usage for it. It's pretty much all being used on this Calyrex Ice team. It has a couple of variations, some with Grimmsnarl, some with Comfey, but most of the time it's going to be played on the same exact team. And I think it's cool. I think that the team is really cool. And I like it has, some positive matchups. It forces Miraidon to, if it wants to do damage while Electabuzz is on the field, either click Discharge, which can be super risky for its teammate, or click Draco Meteor, which sure will deal with the Electabuzz, but now you have a, severely less threatening Miraidon. So
Yeah, according to just looking at the top teams tab on LabMouse as well, this current time frame, which is from June 9th through today, which is June 23rd. It is like the number 8 team. Has a lot of great results, as Jay has said. Of course, getting 12th place and another day 2 at NAIC is really, really big. I know one of my friends in my building group, they also have some connections with the Tub group that decided to run this, and she said that somehow the team with Electabuzz, Smeargle, and Scarf Annihilate was the more normal one of the 2 teams that they were running, and she refused to tell us what the other one is.
I need to know.
Leak it!
I need to know how wild things got.
It's either a team that is crazy, but the type of crazy that you save for something like Worlds, since everyone who was running this team already had their invite, or it's just downright it's like early June. We don't have to really try until frickin' August. let's just throw together the most heinous stuff. Um, since we finally got off of the fire types, another Pokemon I want to talk about, which is something that I am very big on right now, is Komao. So, what Komao is able to do, I know it's one of Jay's favorite types of Pokemon. It is an Iron Defense Body Press Mon, and I think one of the things that I've noticed throughout this format, or at least the point the format is in right now, is a lot of these teams. We can actually just show it right here with LabMouse. Some of these top teams, you have like, your top two teams are a Calyrex, a Water Fire Grass Backbone, and a Raging Bolt. And you see it with the best team, the second best team. This Terapagos team here doesn't have a Fire Water Grass Backbone, but you have the normal type. The sixth best team. This is the team that Patrick Connors used to win NAIC. Again, Calyrex, Fire Water Grass Backbone, Raging Bolt, being a dragon type that can Iron Defense Body Press to mitigate the damage, because a lot of the Pokemon in the Fire Water Grass are physical mons, to mitigate damage there, both with your boosting ability and your type and your dragon typing, and then being able to go and say, okay, well, I also get Stab Body Press now, and these are going to fucking hurt, boys, and you're deleting you're forcing Instant to Terra into its Terra Ghost, and at that point, the Calyrex Shadow that you pair the Komao with, or the Lunala that you pair the Komao with, is just using a Stab Ghost move into the Incineroar. You can really pin it with this Pokemon. You can break through. Pokemon like Rillaboom. Once you Terra, you can break through Pelipper, stuff like that. Like, it's a really great backbone, and it's also really great. Another Mon similar to our fire types, not maybe as direct, but it is still really good into the other, like your Zamazenta. It's with Terra. It's good into Calyrex Ice Rider. It's just like a lot of really good matchups, and it's not the focus of the team, but it definitely is a Pokemon that can break through these balanced backbones. And with a lot of these teams, once you can take out one of those key pivot mons that the player's using for all of their defensive positioning, you can use your Calyrex Shadow with the haha funny $90 button to just start breaking through everything, because they're out one defensive piece. This is the Pokemon I pretty much spent the entire weekend working on. I think it's really cool. I'm going to continue working on it. And if you are struggling against these fighting types and these physical restricted mons, here's another option.
Yeah, I love Como. I mean, as you said, it's an Iron Defense Body Presser, which I love. Also, UDL Season 9 champion. So very beloved in my heart. I think that it with Iron Defense Body Press, if you can just position them correctly, get them into the right matchups, and get us one or two body presses set up, it's an absolute win condition for your team. That was a big thing with Orthworm as well, is that it had like these dual options to where if you were protecting the Shed Tail variation, the Shed Tail approach to the game, and you get an Iron Defense set up on you, it's like, all right, this game might be over before it even started. And I know Orthworm recently did well in, I believe, Hong Kong Nationals. It got second place, which is awesome to see. But I'm a big fan of Iron Defense Body Press. I think that like Bronzong is also another good shout as an Iron Defense Body Presser. Hisui and Gudra is probably something that also typing wise has some really big positives, like you were saying, with like dragon types. But that Stab Body Press just makes it into like a very, very quick Incineroar nuke almost. So I like your pick.
Yeah, no, and really like the idea of it, because I've played in Dad's Tour using this like Komao with Calric Shadow, my team definitely needs to be refined more. Um, I will say a lot of people are, if you're running Komao on a team that doesn't have the ghost coverage, um, you can drop Iron Head for Shadow Claw. That has been something that was been going around. So I tried Shadow Claw over Iron Head, and at least with the way my team was built, I realized that I had zero moves that actually did anything to fairy types. Like round two, I was up against a Whimsicott, and in the back of my head, I'm thinking, wow, I didn't have a steel type attack, a flying type attack, a fire type attack. I'm like, this Pokemon actually gives my team like a significant troubles. But on the other end, like what we were saying, like with this being a setup win condition, I was laddering on cart yesterday, and I was up against a Zamazenta team with just your standard fire, water, grass behind it, and I'm like, okay, Komao, and it was like a standard fire, water, grass with like a Moongus. And I'm like, okay, well, Overcoat Komao and Terra Grass Pelipper just win this. And they did. Like, there was literally nothing they can do. They couldn't break through Komao or the Pelipper, which is the best Pokemon in the format. NAIC champion. I just slide that in. I haven't been able to brag about that in person with you guys. I gave you guys the flowers, and we'll just remind everyone that Jay and Carter both picked the correct Pokemon, the correct restricted, that won NAIC.
In two out of 3 divisions, for the record, I want that also to be known.
I won 3 tournaments in a row. I three-peated. I'm guessing the right Pokemon.
Yeah, are you going to put the world's winner out now, or are you going to let that simmer for?
I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let it simmer. Right it's too early to call it.
I see the script.
I see the script. I already know. All right, it's all written down. I have it in the brain trust right now. But we're gonna have to wait until a little bit closer. I can't go giving out the secrets, and then everyone's gonna show up with, the Orthworm call that's gonna just turn the entirety of worlds on its head.
With that being, first of all, but what I was going to say was when everyone popped off for Pelipper, that is when I know, while I lost the battle, I did win the war.
Did you though? You still picked Pelipper.
Yeah, NAIC champion Pelipper. No, I picked Miraidon as my restricted, which I was very close. But the Miraidon losing to, like that semifinals match was literally deciding between this group which one of us would have been right. Back to like what Jay was saying as well, like looking for calls. If you are going to Worlds, I think Aaron Trailer said this too, just a general thing, like talking about Worlds. A lot of times, you don't want to bring a standard team, like the standard team to Worlds. You want to have some little variation to counter the meta, to get people like off, to pretty much get people off like what they would expect. I think Komao and really all of the Pokemon we've talked about so far are examples of that. Like Komao is able to counter the Fire, Water, Grass backbones that we've seen in a lot of these successful teams leading into Worlds, and it's one of those mons where if you really haven't practiced against it, maybe you might not know its speed tier, you might not know how it works with the Iron Defense Body Press stuff, and I also think again pair it with the Caloric Shadow, it really shores up one of Caloric Shadow's worst matchups, which is the Terapagos. Because you now have a Pokemon that can just go Iron Defense Body Press, and that +2 Body Press is really threatening significant damage into the Terapagos. Okay. So anyone else? I just realized that I was on. Yeah. I just realized.
Talk about more fire types.
Sure, but before we say that, I just realized I was on the Lab Mouse and not the Showdown this entire time. So here's the Komao spread I was talking about, folks. Along with the Bronzong and the Hoojra. I'm gonna take that as I haven't been around you guys, and I was missing you, and I was a little off my game. Let's talk about another fire type, Carter.
Galarian Moltres. Not really a fire type, but
Wait.
Thank you.
Now it is. So
Yeah,
what is Galarian Moltres doing?
It just sits there and snarls people and sets Tailwind and clicks a Fiery Wrath every now and then. It makes people sad.
It also has the lovely foul play.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Stab
And-
foul play real good.
And so you are a lot of people are running it Terra Dark with the black glasses.
And a lot of people are pairing it with the Chandelier from earlier as well.
Yes.
So.
Yes, now Moltres, another Pokemon that went and won a regional, which is kind of crazy to think of. That did Moltres win any regionals in Sword and Shield? I know that
Moltres?
around the time of Worlds
I
there
don't
was
think
this
so.
French Rain team going around.
So.
No, it wasn't French Rain. It was Italian Rain, and it was a Kyogre team that used Galarian Moltres, but I don't think it won a regional. And then everyone's
It
like,
did
"Oh,
win Players Cup.
it won a Players Cup, yes, with Wolfglick. Was it Wolfglick?
Yeah, his Colossal team.
Mm-hmm. I think, but yeah, you have that, and then you go, and everyone's like, "Oh, Moltres isn't as good anymore." It's like it's a Dynamax Merchant, and it goes and wins a regional. This is Fiery Wrath could be a Snarl, has a foul play, has the ability to set Tailwind. This is a super cool Pokemon. Being a Dark type right now is amazing.
It's really good, yeah.
Because of the Calyrex. I think at this point the meta has finally settled into what we thought it would be, and that being the Calyrexes are the two most dominant restricted, and Moltres just has a absolutely wonderful matchup into both of them. It's outside of you have to Terra to avoid the Icicle Crashes.
Glacial Lances.
Glacial Lances. Thank you. Wrong horse. And when you
What horse were you thinking of?
Last year.
Oh yeah, okay.
Imagine if Calyrex Ice had to run Icicle Crash instead of Glacial
It'd be
Lance.
so much worse.
Yeah,
Imagine
it
if
would be.
Glastrier had Glacial Lance.
All would be at peace. Everything would be okay.
If Cali-I had to use Icicle Crash and Cali-S had to use Shadow Ball.
Nah, give Glastrier Glacial Lance.
Man, you just want to see the world burn.
Give Chi-Yu Fiery Wrath.
Still your worst take.
It is
Still your
by
worst
far
take.
the sickest take I've ever
Still
come
your
up
worst
with.
take. No. You're going to...
Jay, I need you to be the tiebreaker here.
All right, I'll be the tiebreaker. Competitively, terrible idea.
Atrocious.
In concept,
in concept, hilarious. It's
fantastic idea.
Yeah.
It is. How much stronger than Heat Wave is it really? Like, come on, like.
So it's the same. I know.
It's not as strong. I think it's only 80 base power.
No, Fiery Wrath is 90.
Is it 90?
And Heatwave is 95. See, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fiery Wrath's 90 base power with the 20, but it doesn't miss. The 20% chance to flinch.
All right.
The stab.
Fine.
Oh, gee, like this. Oh,
I'm
thinking of it.
We
You
get
just
it.
had to start running Wide Guard in front of it. It's fine. It's fine.
We are in a wide guard format.
Exactly. Give Chi-Yu Fiery Wrath.
I mean,
Yeah,
TPC.
have you seen how much it does with Snarl? Like,
So funny.
have you seen a Pokemon, like a bulky-ish Pokemon, just go like 75% from a Snarl of all things? Like,
Yeah, it's a.
We need a dark type version of Overheat, or close combat, or something like that. We need a base 120 dark move to just nuke the world.
No.
well, we have a base. I don't even know what Wicked Blow is anymore, but it always
Base
crits, and you can hit through freaking
It
protect.
might as well be 120.
So yeah, it's base 75, which means
Plus stab, plus crit, plus
Well,
L
so
plus
so
ratio.
plus Terra Dark, plus
plus choice band, plus calc that nerd.
The calc that nerd response is just, it's so funny to me because it's so accurate. It like
Dark.
when
Dark
people
is
start
just
like
so
talking about
broken.
calcs and shit, I'm just like, sure, man, I'm just gonna fucking punch you. Like,
The Dark type is just way too good of an offensive typing. There just really is very little switch-ins to it. And I don't think that like there is more defensive play around fire in like your common teams than there is for dark. So it's like,
just run more fairies. It's fine, Jay.
oh yeah, the number one fairy in the format who is neutral to dark type attacks.
Yep.
Be better.
Or the other really good fairy type that's also very slow and great in Trick Room, also neutral to dark type attacks.
Or the other fairy.
Fine,
that,
just run more dark types.
I mean, you could if you want.
I broke Jay's brain.
Like, I mean, what Shiliang Tang ran 4 dark types and 2. Yeah, he ran 4 dark types on his
let's run
team.
Wochi and Grimmsnarl on every team.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Woqian, Grim, Incin, Jugulus. He's like four dark types, 2 water types. Done, easy. Screw the type chart. Speaking
We
of
need to
dark,
bring back monotype league.
well, I would do that. I think we could. I think we might be able to get that going again. Speaking of monotypes, or at least dark types, I think this is going to be my last Pokemon, and I don't know. Do you guys have anything else after this?
Nope.
I could really. Go for
Umbreon
a
was
nap.
one that I was
Does that
thinking
count?
about.
Also, same.
Okay, so Jay and I are sharing the brain cell right now. So
I
think
literally said same.
I didn't hear you,
Yeah, but we don't like you.
Carter. I love you. I missed you so much on the show. I don't know how we could go and do like a Sleeper Mons episode without the namesake of the Umbreon theory. What? What?
I copied Carter's face.
You know I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at my. I have the showdown.
That's
up.
your
I don't see what you
problem.
guys do.
It was pretty funny.
Oh,
You got
so
no
did you
grumpy,
miss the
and
part
so
where I
I got
ripped my
grumpy right
headphones
back.
off and started pouting?
Yes, I did. You're like, okay, inside baseball for you guys, and probably for the listeners as well. I'm only looking, whenever I share, I'm only looking at what I share. I do not look at what you guys
Do you
are.
not have 2
on-
monitors?
No, I'm just doing everything on my laptop.
Imagine being, just lame and only having 1 monitor.
All right, I take offense. We're talking trash on my name now too. All right.
Yeah.
Are you also a 1 monitor guy?
Dog, I also have a laptop. Like that's it.
Dog. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no,
Also, Carter, next episode, when Angela's looking at the other screens, we need to make a
We just
truce
need to make faces.
and do some weird stuff behind us. Like just have weird stuff going on the whole time, and he won't be none the wiser. And then we're not going to be able to use any of our podcasts.
I think, like, as long as you keep it, like, PG, I think it'll be fine. It'll be like
Carl will message us and be like, "None of this is usable. I don't know what they were doing behind
We
them."
need you all to go record again.
Let's talk about Umbreon. As I was saying, you cannot talk about like weird mons without talking about Umbreon. It's the namesake of the theorem, and I think right now it's an unbelievable spot. I know it did make top 4 on a Zacian. I believe it was on a Zacian team at Los Angeles. And again, in a format where the Calorexes are by far the clear-cut best mons. Oh, I forgot Snarl. In the format.
It's been running Snarl over Moonlight. It doesn't have it normally isn't carrying the recovery.
And then is it leftovers for an item or goggles?
Goggles most of the time. And I think it's taunt instead of helping hand.
Oh, taunt. Wait, That's the thing. It's like that's part of it. It gets so many good moves at that.
Oh, it's so absurd.
Like again, we're going to go through it on here. You get the helping hand, the foul play, yawn, taunt, fake tears. You can set a light screen. You have moonlight. You get both screens. You have what else is there? You get both toxic and thunderwave, which is interesting.
Baby doll eyes.
Yep, baby doll eyes, charm, growl if you're playing Gen 2 OU. You get screech, scary face. Even like sand attack is an annoying attack. You can also use it to set the rain and be a slow manual rain setter. No idea when it got that move.
We're running Sand Attack Umbreon in 2024.
It
VGC,
probably got
right?
it about the same time Imbor got Skulled. So
yeah, I'm sent. One moment.
I already looked it up. You are right, and I think that's
stupid. Gen 5.
Angelo, I already looked it up.
I'm just letting the listeners know.
I'm thinking about getting mad again.
Wait, let me see your face. Oh, you're doing a little pouty thing.
Oh, just look at him, little pouty face, little guy.
Someone call him a wambulance. Well.
Yeah, so back to Umbreon. It's just in a really good place.
This episode is so unusable.
No, we can use it. We can make it. What do they expect?
Episode. This is fine.
This is great. This is another Gas Leak episode. This is called We've Been Away. We haven't talked to each other in person, or at least on a mic, in like 3 weeks, and we just have to get everything out now. Umbreon's great into the. It's just an annoying mon that you really struggle to take off the field, and has an unbelievable matchup into the Calorexes with both Foul Play and Snarl.
Yeah, it's just so bulky. It just really does a lot. It becomes good into like a Moongus with the taunt and the safety goggles. It's good around it as well. You're immune to fake out. It allows you to play around Incineroar and stuff. You can like taunt Incineroar, stop it from parting shot. It stops Trick Room setups as well, a non-priority taunter, which is really good to see because a lot of the Trick Room teams carry Farigiraf on them. So it's a fake out immune, non-priority taunter with a Rage Powder immunity from Goggles. So it's a really awesome Pokemon with a great matchup, like you said, into Calorexes, into strong special attackers. Like I'm sure that this thing can survive a Miraidon Electro Drift, which not a lot of things can. I trust in it. I'm gonna run a Cal quick.
Yeah, run the Cal because I'm like I was thinking this would be like unbelievable into Terapagos, into the non-covert cloak, Cali S, even into Kyogre. Like being able to go and just yawn, taunt, and snarl everything would be super useful. Miraidon might be a special case because it truly is a delete button.
You can survive, but you have to invest a ton.
What's the invest?
So to live Terra Electric choice specs, this is non-modest, which I'm sure a lot of Miraidon are modest. Yeah. But I have like 252, 188 careful to survive the electro drift.
And if you're modest, and like just run the calc at modest. Let's see what happens.
And this is a 50-50 calc, so modest is going to put it exactly at 100. It's always picking up a KO.
Okay, yeah, that's again if you're sick of trying to play around your opponent's defense, play a Pokemon where defense just doesn't matter. Play Miraidon.
Just play Miraidon, baby.
Yeah.
When in doubt, punch them in their throat. Make them sad.
And with that, I'd say that is all of the cool Pokemon. We covered a lot of Pokemons. It was started out as the Oops All Fire types and finished with the Oops All Dark types. Dark and Fire is really good.
Put them together. What do you get?
The most impressive VGC mon of all time. Yeah.
Big Cat.
just the like I know we started before we recorded. We were starting about talking about you going to the wolf reservation or whatever the hell it's called.
Preserve.
And reserve. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, the Incineroar is the number one enemy of the wolf reserve.
Well, there was bobcats and lynxes there as well, and there was also foxes. It was awesome. All right, it was so cool. But then I got stuck in 5 hours of traffic on the way home from New Jersey. So
Hell yeah!
Man,
Welcome to the Northeast.
I looked at Alex when we got stuck in traffic on the George Washington, and I said, "This is why I didn't go to Secaucus on the third day."
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Oh, you took like George too. Jesus.
Well, the first day it took me through downtown Manhattan. So I drove the Lincoln 34th Street to the Lincoln Tunnel. And then, so that was fun. And then it took me to GW day too. So both days I was like, all right, I'm going to blow my brains out. And then I said on day 3,
I'm good.
I'm not going there to just watch people battle. I'm gonna just take my drive home, take my day off that I had to request for, and I'm going to just watch. Because
no, you made the call. When I had to drive home, I didn't take the I took I think I ended up going all the way around. I took the Tappan Zee home, thank God. I did take the George there on the way down, and it wasn't. Timing wise, it wasn't terrible, but it's never enjoyable.
I got stuck in traffic. This was both this past previous time and at Secaucus for what had to have been close to an hour waiting to get on the George W. Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I've been there.
At some point,
I've been there.
You just cut your losses.
Yeah.
And this whole time I had sunblock in my left eye. My eye was on fire. I got home. I swear, my eye was looking like the Eye of Sauron. It was bright red. It was just not looking good. So yeah, it was a fun drive home. Yeah. But it was nice to be back this week. I missed this, and I'm excited.
I also have missed this.
I missed this.
Mainly Jay, but
Yeah, me too, Carter. I missed you. We gotta find some fun stuff to do over these next few weeks of the off season.
Yeah, it's going
harass Angela. Yeah.
We do that every day. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference?
But
yeah, we'll have some fun stuff planned. I know next week's probably just going to be going over because if we don't get regional locations this week and we go into,
I doubt we will, right? Like,
well, we got them. Well, the season starts next Monday.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we're getting regionals though.
Yeah, we're not going to get those until after Worlds.
The next regional is going to be September.
Yeah,
like, I don't think there's a 0% chance we get them between now and Worlds.
We got
them post NAIC last year, but NAIC was around like late June, early July.
It was the start of July. It was
like 4th of July weekend last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like on Friday.
We'll find some fun stuff for you all to keep you engaged for the next couple weeks while we wait for Worlds and regionals and all that fun stuff to start back again.
Yes.
But I believe that is it for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you comment down below what sleeper picks you think are going to show up in the next few weeks of Reg G, Pokemon that you think are going to be big going into the World season as well.
Or what practical joke we need to play on Angelo.
Yes, also give us ideas on that. Make sure you like and subscribe too. Come check out the community Discord. Come hang out with us, and you can harass Angelo live and in person, and it'll be great. Check out the Twitter
at VGC. Just tag him constantly with nothing.
Check out the Twitter at LR Lessons, where we tweet about all our awesome videos that are coming out. We have so many series ongoing right now, so a lot of fun stuff going on the channel. And check out the Discord and Patreon supporters links. Shout out to Papa Swish and Johnny Bravo Sr. for your support on Patreon, and shout out to Smeargle for your support on Discord. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time. Peace out.